Hi there. It's another very intermittent time to take. No, I don't like how this is starting. How do I want to start this? Hi there, it's me, it's Mike, and what I have for you today is Star Wars The Black Series 2-pack Walmart exclusive Captain Enoch and the Nighttrooper. Captain Enoch and the Nighttrooper debuted in Ahsoka Season 1. Captain Enoch is played by one of my favorite bit part. Is it bit part the right way to say it? I've only seen him personally in like two things, and one of them, you can't tell it's him. The other one is The Expanse. Wes Chatham plays Amos Burton, and I love him. I love it. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But he also is this guy. I am that guy. I mean, anyone could be this guy, but I'm glad it's him for some reason because I like him. And we also have this really neat Nighttrooper. And with it being so close to spooky season, I figured let's kick off spooky season with maybe a little bit of a semi-spooky figure. And this is technically kind of a zombie, so it's about as close as Star Wars gets to a zombie. I've got other spooky things I want to take a look at in the next week or two, and I can't promise I'll get to them, but I have every intention to. So let's take a look at it. So here we have the 2-pack. Like I said, this is a Walmart exclusive, so if you're looking for it, you best be checking Walmart's. This is the side. It is the newer style packaging, in case you're curious or can't tell because of the lack of the slant there. It's got a nice picture of the two troopers here. I do wish, just right off the bat, if I'm thinking of things I wish they'd done differently, I don't like that it's a named trooper and then a generic troop builder. Because if you want an army of night troopers, because in the show, Thrawn had an army of night troopers. It would have been better if they had given us two night troopers with like two different unique sculpts, because that's the whole thing about these guys is they were put together, their armor with like this kintsugi method where it's like they use the gold to rebond and it gives this really cool kind of cracked look about. This is going to be mostly about the package, and we're almost done. I just want to read the back and let's move on to the figures because that's what's more interesting. Captain Enoch, Grand Admiral Thrawn's captain of the guard, is an ominous sentinel who wears a modified helmet with a golden face hammered into its mask. Brought to life by the sinister magic of the Great Mothers, night troopers are a macabre fighting force. Again, like I said at the beginning, they're a little on the spooky side, so I figured why not wait till October to do this. I do have other spooky things to get to. Specifically the Halloween set that I haven't covered yet, that I do own. So let's go ahead and get this open. There we go. So here they are out of the box. And one of the nice things about this is that if you own one of these guys, the 2020 mold Stormtrooper, you know exactly what to expect from this mold. If you haven't been listening to my podcast for the last, 6 months or so, we've been inducting every episode a new figure into the Hall of Fame, meaning that these figures are bangers. And if you're never sure what figure you should be buying, anything on this list will be good. 2020 Stormtrooper has been on the list for some time now because it is a fantastic figure. This was released, like I said, in 2020 with all new parts, and Hasbro really knocked it out of the park there. So these two figures here are based on that. Why start from scratch when it's just a Stormtrooper, But that being said, these are unique parts. So they took the Stormtrooper body as the base, and they built and sculpted new parts to go with it. New helmets, obviously, new torsos, new midsections, new shoulders. You know, maybe some of this stuff has been reused, like the arm here doesn't have anything on it, but this one sure does. And like this leg's completely, you know, unchanged, and maybe this thigh, but this leg isn't down here. So there's definitely some new parts in and some old parts, but the construction of the figure is the same. So if you know how one moves, and I've done videos on it, you know how they all move. But like I said, this is kind of a troop builder, but the problem with these guys is that even though it's a troop builder, they're all like snowflakes. None of them look the same. They all have different bandage works, different kind of chip markers. And what's interesting about this is, other than the helmet and this thigh, this bandage loadout and these little cracks, if you watch the Ahsoka show, which again, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. It's really good, especially if you like Rebels. I enjoyed it. But the armor that Ezra wears, spoiler alert, Ezra's in it, but the armor that Ezra wears at the end of the show looks almost exactly like this in the torso area, like same cracks, same placement for all of the bandages, but the helmet is different. It doesn't have this kind of dark spots. It's all white. But I found it interesting that this is mostly Ezra, but not quite. So I hope that means that maybe we'll be getting an Ezra. I would like that if they gave us. I mean, I'd want a regular Ezra first, but I'd also like a Nighttrooper Ezra as well. But I do love this. I love the gold filigree in here. Let me see. So like all the gold filigree in here looks great. These are actually like silk ribbons that were on the armor. So all of these are sculpted on there. They're not removable parts. They're not excess parts. So that's something that Hasbro had to sculpt. Same thing with all these cracks. Same thing with the helmet here. Everything looks great. The detail work, there's tons of paint on it. I really, really do like it. I think the Stormtrooper armor itself is dull. So especially if you compare it to like this shine right here. And I think I want to say it's probably intentional. And if it's not intentional, I'll say it works. Like this is sort of meant to represent like the shininess of, you know, a Stormtrooper on the Death Star, you know, pristine, ready for service, whatever, looking great. Whereas this is sort of a ragtag, been, you know, cobbled together, quite possibly dead, zombified trooper. I mean, some of them definitely were dead zombies. Some of them, I think all of them pretty much were, but who knows? You know, the armor not being shiny kind of represents that, which I really, really do like. But, you know, what's cool is Hasbro didn't skimp out on the paint and stuff on the back, which they sometimes do. There's still paint, gold on the cracks here, even on the back of the leg down here. Again, on the legs, the only thing that's different is this one right here. But again, I think that's okay. And I want them to come out with a multi-pack of a couple of these. They did that in the TVC, and I wouldn't mind maybe like another 2-pack of Night Troopers that are like this, but different. I guess that's the way to put it. And he does come with a blaster. This is sadly just in the kind of gray plastic, which I am not a fan of. I really don't like it when it's just this kind of gray plastic right here. I wish that they would, if they're gonna do the gray plastic, you got to give it some kind of wash. But I prefer the black plastic if they're just gonna color it in the plastic. I don't like the gray. But it's the same blaster that came with the Mandalorian Stormtrooper, which means that it has the extended magazine right here, as well as a little flashlight clip. So the only new Stormtrooper so far that's come with the older blasters, I believe, are the ones that came with the Starkiller 2 multi-pack, and then the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary Stormtrooper, maybe the archive one. I don't remember if that one did or not, because I don't get it. I didn't get it, so I don't know. But let's move on to Captain Enoch. This is the star of the show. You know, as soon as I saw him in an episode, I was like, this is a guy I want. You know, sometimes whenever you get a new Star Wars, there's always that one trooper or character where you're like, I want a toy of that. This is like this. This is sort of the Boba Fett of Ahsoka, where it's just a cool looking, different sort of trooper. And it's cool enough to like, you just want to own it because it looks really, really cool. So let's take a look again. It does have that unique face. It has sort of a Roman Colosseum kind of face on there where it looks like, you know, a gladiator kind of thing. It does have the Imperial markings on the top of the helmet, which looks really good. Of course, the gold filigree and the kitsugi going all the way around. I really like all the paint. The paint looks so good. The chest and the arms and stuff are pretty much all the same other than the paint. He does have this sort of like skirt piece, which is unique. And I like that it does sort of, it makes him stand out for sure. He definitely looks like not just a stormtrooper, which I like, and especially because he is played by Wes Chatham, like I said, and I love Wes Chatham. If you haven't seen The Expanse, that's all I'll say. He's so good. But I want to say maybe he was a little wasted in season 1, just having such a cool guy. But I would say that's sort of one of my complaints with modern Disney stuff is the casting. Like, they'll put wild actors and comedians especially in roles where it's just like, why? Why is Matt Berry voicing 8D8? Why is Richard Ayoade voicing a random bounty hunter droid? You know, like these are great actors with unique voices, and I feel like they're just being wasted on not being on screen. You know, it's weird. Anyways, that's a random little rant there. But he does have a built-in holster, and of course, he does come with a unique blaster, which is nice. And it does have paint on it. It is black, and it has gold to match his armor. I really, really like it. And I believe it's a unique blaster. I don't think we've had this blaster before, but I haven't looked it up, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it does sit there in the holster. And of course, he can hold it. It'd be weird, you know, if he couldn't. Just like any other stormtrooper can hold virtually any blaster. It is a little on the small side, so giving like a two-handed pose is a little bit weird when you have a short barrel like that. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but here he is. Here they are. This is the 2-pack from Ahsoka, Captain Enoch, and the Stormtrooper. If you don't have these and you don't like Ahsoka, or you just don't really care about it, I can see you passing on it, but for me, this is right up my alley. I love this. I mean, it can kind of go with like a remnant stormtrooper, honestly, where it just kind of looks cobbled together and whatnot. And of course, if you do have Grand Admiral Thrawn, either the old one, but more importantly, I haven't opened him yet, the new one, the Elon Musk Grand Admiral Thrawn. What is it? Lars Mikkelsen is the actor. He's the one that voiced him. Brother of Mads Mikkelsen, and I'll get into that when I do a video on these guys. I just haven't. You can see all the dust from having them sit on my floor for a month since I've had them. I've just been really busy, and I haven't had a chance to really dive into them. But I will. I promise. I wanted to get back into it, and I said, you know, I really wanted to open these up, and you're welcome for a new video. I'll have more coming. I promise. But yeah, definitely worth it. I definitely want more Nighttroopers. I would love to have an Ezra Nighttrooper, and I'd love to have an Ezra in general. I feel like there's not a ton that I want from Ahsoka Season 1 still. We're getting an Anakin Skywalker. We did get Ahsoka from Peridia, although she's missing her robe. I would love a spacesuit Ahsoka. I'd love for them to take another crack at Balin and Shin. I don't think they will, but who knows? Anyways, this is a good set. I'm gonna give this set. Oh man, I struggle to find anything wrong with it. You know, I really do. It's got a great mold. It's got a great body. They move great. They've got everything I really want them to have that a figure released like this would realistically come with. I don't think they're going to come with like alternate hands or anything, although I'd like that. They're not going to come with removable helmets because we never saw their faces. I would like more. The only thing I could think of is I just don't like that it's a 2-pack. I'd rather these guys be, I'd rather him be single packed and a 2-pack army builder of that. So if I had to dock it for anything, it would be that. It would just be that it's a 2-pack and you're forced to buy this 2-pack. And if you want to army build this guy, you have to buy multiples of these, which means you're selling them or whatever. And for the people that just want maybe a Captain Enoch by himself. That's it. That's the only nitpick I can think of. Other than that, Hasbro really knocked it out. The paint's there, the sculpt's there, everything looks fantastic. And I will bring them back out when I do a video on Thrawn here so you can see them. You know what? Screw it. Let's get Thrawn out. Here you go. Here's Thrawn with the Nighttrooper and Captain Enoch. Man, I'm so happy to have these. Thrawn looks great. Again, I'm not going to review him. This is I just don't want to make this longer, but I did want to get it out so you could see them together because I really do think that's part of the experience. I just don't see anyone buying this 2-pack without also buying Thrawn, or maybe even buying Thrawn and not buying this 2-pack. If you're in for one, you're in for them all because of the nature of the show and how collectors' brains works. Although if you're not, let me know in the comments. I'd like to know if you're like, no, I only want Thrawn, or no, I only care about the Night Troopers. Me, I want them all. If it's in Star Wars, I want a toy of it. I don't even care. I'll buy it because I love Star Wars. Anyways, that's it. I'm gonna give the set like a 4.75 out of 5. It's good. I nitpicked it a little bit. Just because I really don't know if there's ever a perfect set, so I really try to find hard to nitpick something. But trust me when I say that is nitpicking. If I were feeling good and no cares in the world, I'd say a 5 out of 5. Buy this. It's good. But I know this isn't going to be for everyone. But I think that if this is for you, I just can't see how you'd have any complaints about this. They're good figures. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for getting this far. Let me know what you think down in the downstairs area. Do you like this? Are you getting them? Do you care? I mean, you're watching and you got this far, so I assume you care, or at least you want to hear my voice for this long. But yeah, let me know. I also want to thank these people here for supporting me on YouTube. Just as a channel member, it means a lot to me that these people support me. And I put their name on the screen for doing so. So thank you so much. I like you guys. Even if you don't support me, I like you too. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you later. Bye.